Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Kustomize is the GitHub tool that comes as part of the Kubernetes installation. If you are using Kubernetes 1.21 and above, then Kustomize will come by default. Let us see how Kustomize is going to help the DevOps engineer on day-to-day activity. It will help you to manage your manifest file and deploy them into the Kubernetes cluster in an effective way. In this video, I will explain you the top 4 scenarios. Why do you need them at work? Let us look into the first scenario. So in a real-time application, for you to deploy, you need to have multiple YAML file, and these YAML file can be like your namespace, secrets, config map, deployment, and so on. It's very hard for you to execute one after the other. It is time consuming. Instead, you can enclose all these YAML file into the single YAML file by like this. That means when you run your customization.yaml, it will basically help you to run all your required YAML file that is needed for your application to run. In this example, it will execute your first namespace.yaml and then secrets. It's always follow the top to down order. So let me look into the second scenario. In second scenario, where you need to change your tag version of your image during the build runtime, and then you need to deploy the updated tag image into the Kubernetes cluster. Let us see how that process will work using the Kustomize. So let us assume that this is my sample deployment.yaml, which is having the previous version of image version like 0. Whenever the developer check in the code, it will automatically, the build will trigger using Jenkins, or it can be any other build tool. And this is how my customization YAML will look like. So I just added images -name. This is my Docker account and my repository. And here I'm telling that whenever the new build Jenkins build number get updated, this environment variable will get replaced to the new build number. Let us say if my new build number is 1, that 1 will be applied to the manifest file. And then with that, the build process will complete. Then you need to apply this manifest file into the Kubernetes cluster by using the Jenkins deploy command, kubectl deploy command. When you run that kubectl apply command of that customization file, you will be having the new manifest file. So let us look into what is there in the third scenario. In third scenario, you need to deploy into multiple environments. How are we going to manage it? Let us assume that once the development is complete, you need to deploy it into multiple environment. In this case, it's going to be a QA environment. So the one what I have highlighted in the red, that is the only YAML which will be changing based on the environment. So remaining other 3 YAML which is not going to change irrespective of any environment that we deploy. So Kustomize will bring some discipline how to manage your folder structure like this. All your file that is not changing, that will go to your base directory. Anything that specific to environment, that will come into respective folder like dev and QA. So sorry, I gave error as a test, but it should be a test here. So here, and also if you look into the detail, you will be seeing the customization.yaml in all your folder. It is not going to be the same YAML file across all this directory. Let us see how it differs. The customization.yaml in the base directory will look like this, where you define your resources and all the YAML file that is not changing irrespective of the environment, that will be given here in this order. And then any environment specific configuration like secret map or config map or environment variable, that can be given like this. And if you look into the customization that is specific to environment, where you will represent where is your base directory, and then you need to define your namespace.yaml explicitly under the resources, and then you can define in which environment. The namespace is nothing but your virtual cluster in the Kubernetes, where you are defining where your resources has to get deployed. You are defining it like namespace colon dev. So let me look into the final scenario. Let us look into the final scenario where your Kustomize can help you to generate your config map, and it will help you to apply into running parts by executing the deployment rollout in the backend. So if you are creating a new config map without Kustomize, then you need to every time you need to restart your parts and restart your parts or deployment. So there are times where DevOps engineer sometimes forget to execute this process. That's why Kustomize will help you to, as soon as you run your customization.yaml, that will automatically will apply your newly generated config map values into the running parts. So let us look into how are we going to apply all these 4 scenarios in the real time. Let us look into the demo. Okay, let us start our first scenario. As for our first scenario, we need to organize all these 4 YAML into single customization.yaml. Let me create a new file called customization.yaml. Yeah, the file naming convention should follow here. Edit this with your notepad, and I already have the content here. I'm going to place it over here. So it's very simple to follow. Your kind should be customization. All your YAML file should be under resources. Go and save it. Close this. Go back to your command prompt. Just execute this command. Apply -k. -k denotes that you are going to run customization. Give enter. Yeah. Now all 4 YAML what was given in the customization.yaml got executed. kubectl get all -n dev -o while. Okay, everything is got created as per the expectation. So I wanted to show one more thing as part of this first scenario. If you look at here where I'm already having a label as app equal to deploy label. So you all know that Kustomize is to organize your manifest file, and also it will help you to make your manifest file simple and looks clean. So what it basically I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove few entries with respect to labels. I'm going to delete labels from your deployment.yaml and service.yaml, and then I will add that label inside your customization.yaml. Let me go and clean it up. Open your notepad. So go and delete this line, 3 lines, and remove this as well. Save it. And also go to your service.yaml. Open with notepad. Delete these 2 lines. So all my source code, I'll keep it in my GitHub repository. You can go and access it. So go and delete these 2 lines, save it. And then you need to add an entry for this label. So the reason why we are doing this, it will help you to avoid issues like indentation, and then so many places having a references is sometimes is very hard to debug. So this will help you to make your manifest look simple, and also it will help you to, by looking at the YAML file, you can understand very easily. So just type common labels colon 2 space env deploy label. Okay, close it. So I'm going to delete what already I've created. Control C, kubectl, delete. This is a command. So instead of apply, you are giving delete -k and give enter. Oh, I gave a spelling mistake. Go back here. Open with notepad. common labels. Okay, save it. Go back to your command prompt. Okay, it's deleted now. I'm going to recreate. Okay, kubectl apply -k. Okay, it says created. Kubectl get all -n override. Okay, so now you see here, you make you just removed all the references in your services.yaml with respect to label, and that way you can make things you can make your YAML look simple, and also it's very powerful. So let us look into the second scenario. As per scenario 2, your customize can also help you to update your image tag version. Let us see how it is going to help you out. So going back your customization.yaml, go and do a notepad. I already have the content here. Copy. So if it is in Jenkins, I will generally use this variable. Since here I'm not going to use Jenkins, I'm going to directly modify as a next incremental one as 24. Okay, save it. Go back to your command prompt, cls kubectl apply -k dot. Okay, if you see here, I just only one has got modified and configured. Rest everything has unchanged. kubectl get all -n dev. So I'm getting the pod name here. kubectl get pods -n dev -o yaml. If you see here, previously it was Tomcat app 24, now it is 24. Previously it was 23, now it is 24. So let us look into the third scenario. Okay, this is a very important scenario where you need to deploy into multiple environments. In my example, I'm going to create 2 different environments. Number 1 is going to be your dev, and second one is going to be your QA environment. And then I also mentioned earlier, there is something called base folder. This folder is nothing but which will have your common files. Okay, all your environment specific files should go into the respective folder. Any file that is not going to change for irrespective of the environment, that has to go into the base folder. In my example, config map, deployment, and your service, which is not going to change while deploying into any environment. That means this has to go to base folder. And this customization and namespace.yaml are environment specific, so it has to go to respective environment, and I'm also copying and pasting it over here. Okay, and if you look at my presentation, I told that customization.yaml is exists in all the folder, but the content varies. I will show you shortly how it is going to be different in all the folders. So for now, I'm moving that into base. Let me delete this. Okay, now under base, I have a config map, deployment, and service.yaml, which is not going to change at all. And then I am having a customization.yaml, which I need to modify. I will do it shortly. In dev environment, under dev folder, I'm having 2 files. This is going to be a environment specific file for dev environment. For QA, same like I have 2. So let me update the base folder first. So the only change in the base folder is going to be customization.yaml. Let me open this notepad. The only changes in this file where you have namespace.yaml, just remove that. That's it. Okay, the base folder part is complete. Now going to dev, you need to modify in your custom. Okay, there is no changes needed under the namespace.yaml. It is just, it will help you to create your namespace. Okay, here I'm going need to modify few things. Let me show you what it is. So here you are having your resources under namespace.yaml. Here whatever the namespace YAML is there, right, that you need to create. So what I'm going to do, I'm because these are all not environment specific, I'm going to delete everything. But I'm going to say that I'm having namespace.yaml, and then also I'm going to tell I think I missed this resources. Okay, under resources I'm going to have only namespace.yaml, and then I need to tell where is my base directory located, because for the application to run I need to run the other YAML file for that specific dev environment. So I'm just telling that this to this customization.yaml where is my base directory is located. So it is exactly one directory below. You save. So with this you are completing your customization.yaml for dev environment. Okay, so you need to do the similar one in the QA environment also. Going to QA, but here we configured this one as dev. Since I copied from dev, that's why you see dev. I'm going to change it to QA. Okay, I'm going to your customization.yaml. Okay, I think I missed one entry in the customization.yaml for dev environment. Let me do that as well. Okay, so I communicated to this YAML where is my current namespace.yaml for this environment, and also I mentioned all the other YAML file where it is located. But I also need to specify where this YAML file should execute it. For that I need to namespace :dev. Okay, and then similarly I need to do the same thing in here as well. Open with notepad. I need to remove everything here except namespace, and then I need to tell where is my /base. Okay, and remove all this entry, and then namespace QA. Okay, but I also referenced all these namespace in my respective base YAML file. Okay, so for that I'm going to go and modify that as well. Okay, here if you see I have given namespace as dev. I'm deleting that, and I'm going to do the same stuff for all the other file, because these files are not environment specific. That's why I'm removing the environment specific changes here, which I have hard coded here already. I want to make these files are generic files. And then I have services.yaml. There also I defined as dev. Okay, so now exactly how we wanted to do, we have done it. The base directory will have all your YAML which is not environment specific, and dev we will have your environment specific files that will only deploy to dev namespace. Similarly, QA has two environment specific YAML that will deploy into QA namespace. Let me go and run it. So let me go and run my customize command for both the environment. First, let me go and run it in dev environment. kubectl apply -k. Yes, let me go to QA environment. Okay, so I have successfully created the folder structure. I can show you how the folder structure should be. Tree -f. Okay, This is how the, okay, for now just ignore this backup directory. Your folder structure should be like this. Your base directory should have your config map, deployment and service, because these three YAML file is not specific to any environment. Similarly, the customization.yaml, but I do have two environment, dev and QA, that I have environment specific files that I need to update into the respective folder. Okay, let me look into the final scenario. So this is going to be our final demo. So why do we need config map generator, right? So before going into it, I would like to show the problem statement by executing the command here. kubectl get cm even dev. Okay, so this is my config data. kubectl get cm config data. I have like a two key name and value pairs. If you see here, my key is one of my key is config data equal to tomcat value, and my second key database name, for that the value is mysqldb. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to modify this particular to -1.0. I'm going to change my database name as mysqldb-1. So let me go and modify that. Open this notepad. -1. I saved it, and what I'm going to do, kubectl apply -k. Let me go to dev directory. dev kubectl apply -k dot. If you see here, my all the three remains unchanged, but my config map is configured. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now, the value -1.0 what I modified, whether that is existing in the pod or not. That is what I'm going to check. kubectl get all -n. Yep. Okay, this is my pod name. kubectl execute -integrative. Here bin bash. Okay, I'm now inside the Kubernetes container. kubec. Okay, now I'm going to check echo dollar database name. I suppose I'm expecting -1. That is what we modified. But if you see here, whatever I modified, it is not showing up. In order for me to get that changes, I need to restart this part, or I need to do a rollout deployment. If I do either of these two, then only I can see the new change. Because these things at times we might forget to do as a DevOps engineer. That is the reason. This is one of the problem statement what I was calling out in this scenario. I'm going to fix this problem using config map generator using Kustomize. Doing exit, I'm going to show you how am I going to do that. Okay. So going back to my customization.yaml. So here I'm going to add few things to add your config map. Let me show you that. Okay, so this is the detail of that. Okay, so I'm just saying that instead of, let me add this as database name. Database name equal to SQL db-2. I don't know what is there in the command prompt. MySQL okay, MySQL db-2. Okay, so now I'm going to run this now. Let me check this config data should match with my deployment.yaml. Let me double check that once. Config data, yes, it matches. Okay, so what I just added these few lines, and then I'm going to show you when I run my kubectl command now, apply command. When after that I will go and execute I will going to get inside the container, inside the pod, and then I will do a echo, and I will show you that this value of this, when I go and echo this one, I'll get this value. Let me show you that. kubectl apply -k. Okay, I think I understood the problem. Let me fix it. So since because the intent here is I don't want to use this config map.yaml. That is why, because there are two entries we already placed. That's why it says that you need to merge it. So let me fix that problem. Go open the notepad. I will go and remove this entry. That means it will not go and call out that particular YAML file. Let me go and run it again. Okay, we see here. So whenever if you wanted to remove any entry from your, if later at any point of time, if you think that any YAML file is not needed, you can just remove that entry instead of deleting it from here. If you wanted to reuse it in the future, you can leave that file here without deleting it, but instead you can go and remove that entry under the resource section. Okay, so now if you go and see kubectl get all -n dev. Okay, kubectl. So let me see it. That's it. kubectl get all -n. Copy this. I'm going to get in inside the container. kubectl exec -it. Oh my god. Pods. If you see here, MySQL DB got updated. So I did not do any restart or anything. What it happened in the backend? So your Kustomize is doing the deploy rollout. That is one of the features that comes as part of the deployment kind. So I hope you understand that I have showed you all the 4 different scenarios. I hope you understand all the scenarios that I went through today. So apart from these 4 scenarios, these are all my top 4 to 5 scenarios that I use on my day-to-day work. But there are like other scenarios which is also available in the Kustomize. Let me show you some information. This is a page where you can find the different options that is available in the Kustomize that can be used in your activity. So another thing what I will also use is that patches. For example, if I wanted to increase the number of replicas, like for the environment like prod, you can use patches. Like there are so many. I definitely recommend you to go through this page and see what can be fit in for your need. I hope you understand what is Kustomize and why do we need them. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe it. Thank you.